Happy Halloween, everybody. We are back for another episode of Crossing Line with Dev. Sorry about last week's episode. I rewatched it, didn't like it, took it down. It's privated right now. It wasn't a very good episode. I feel like if I'm going to put content out there, it's got to be better. Oh, and also, happy Halloween. That's why who am I? Who am I? I'm just kidding, guys. I kind of have had a late minute costume and I'm a huge Marvel fan, so I went with Deadpool. And I'm going to wear it to work because I work on Halloween at a place where people dress up for Halloween. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy your Halloweens. I know it's mostly a kids thing, but when you become an adult, sometimes there's parties or you go out to bars or whatnot. But I'm dressing up and I hope you guys have an incredible Halloween. But let's hop straight into it. Yeah, again, I'm sorry about last week's episode. I just didn't like it. I feel like if I'm going to put content out there, it's got to be a little bit better. But I'm Deadpool right now. Uh, in the comments, tell me what you guys dressed up as if you guys did. I will, if I wasn't working, I would definitely be taking my little sister out for trick or treating. But let's hop straight into it because we have a lot of sports news to talk about today. Let's talk about this World Series because this is not how I expected it to go. I clearly thought that the Dodgers were the best team. They had the best players, they had the best superstars. And Toronto comes in hot with a game one 11-4 win. Like out of nowhere, it hit it. And I was just like, whoa, this is not good. Game two rolls around. Dodgers win 5-1. I said, okay, this is kind of how I expected it to go. Game three, Dodgers win an insane, like, what was it, 18 full innings? Yeah, 18 innings. They win an 18 inning game. And I thought that they would have clear momentum after that. I mean, this is the game where Otani hit home run just to keep the Dodgers in it. Then for like 9 straight innings, there was no action at all. It was slow. It was methodical. It was a lot of pitchers striking out people getting out. And so I thought they would have a lot of momentum going into game number 4. But then the Blue Jays come out hot because this was the Shohei Otani pitching start. He pitched 6 innings. He allowed 6 hits, four earned runs, walked one person, had 6 strikeouts. So it wasn't a great game pitching wise for Otani. In game 4, the Blue Jays just came back and off the back of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just absolutely demolished the Dodgers and all the momentum they had after that insane 19 inning game. So then they go back to Toronto for game number 5. And at this point, even after game 1, I was worried, but after this point is when I really started to get worried because Trey Yesavage came out hot. He pitched 6 innings, 12 strikeouts, 1 earned run. The Dodgers could do nothing at all against him. Blake Snell let up 2 home runs in the first 3 pitches of this game. And now I'm starting to wonder if they're going to blow it. I mean, this Dodgers team is a team that has clearly the most money, pays the most money for the best superstars, and somehow cannot figure it out. They can't. Shohei Otani looked, not as good as he did in the series before this as a pitcher. Nobody could hit a ball against Savage. I mean, he had his first MLB game in September, and now he's pitching a World Series game where he practically shuts out the Dodgers for 7 innings. Blake Snell lets up 5 earned runs. He only had 7 strikeouts, and he let up 2 home runs in the first 3 pitches. It's not what you want to see out of the Dodgers, and I'm afraid that they're going to lose this World Series. Game number 6 is in Toronto, so they have home field advantage. Granted, Dodgers fans travel, and there's a lot of Dodgers fans everywhere, but this is still home field advantage for the Blue Jays, and I'm worried. I thought that the Dodgers would win in 5, and now I'm worried that the Blue Jays are going to win in 6. I hope it goes to a game 7 and the Dodgers have a chance, but after the way they've looked in the last 2 games, I'm not convinced that they can win this World Series. The Blue Jays, even with the injuries that they've just have had a spark of life. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is insane. He is so good. And Otani, it feels like the issue that I have with Otani is he's the greatest athlete in the world. He's the best player in the world. But sometimes the consistency isn't there. He has games where he practically shuts out an entire team and then has 3 home runs, and then has games where he doesn't get a hit and strikes out like 3 times. I think there's some consistency stuff, but like, let's be honest, I think we can let it slide given that he's playing both sides of the field, offense and defense, and doing it at top tier level. Top tier level. I'm sure last night after pitching 6 innings, the next game he's probably tired. His arm hurts a little bit. Usually these guys get time off. Otani's still the best player in the world, but I think this Dodgers team needs to step it up and figure it out. Otherwise, I am afraid they might lose this World Series to the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, let's hop over to some NFL news. This isn't going to be a super long episode today. I kind of want to hang out with my family, kind of want to get geared up for Halloween because I have to work and it's a big day for my work. So let's hop straight into it. Chargers crushed the Vikings. We don't need to talk about it. The only thing we need to talk about with the Vikings is that Carson Wentz is having season-ending injury on his, what is it, left or right shoulder, whatever it is. And it seems like J.J. McCarthy is finally going to step in again and be the quarterback that they drafted him to be. Now, is it going to turn out the way it did those first couple games where he looked like absolute butt cheeks, except for one inning where he scored 21 points? Or is he going to come in on fire, Kevin O'Connell's scheme, and figure it out and actually make this Vikings team with the amount of talent that they have on that offense? Just with Justin Jefferson alone, they shouldn't be losing some of the games they're losing. Dolphins beat the Falcons. Was not expecting this. Kirk Cousins had to step in because uh, sorry, I'm totally blanking right now. Uh, Sorry, I got to take off these gloves to type real quick. Kirk Cousins has been the most overpaid second string quarterback ever. I think he's making like more than most of the starters in the league right now. But Michael Penix is hurt. He was hurt. It looked like he has had trouble with that elbow, but he had to sit out this game. Bijan had 9 carries for 25 yards, which is not normal for Bijan. Bijan has had like the most all-purpose yards ever in this amount of games, and this team just came out flat. Kirk Cousins didn't look good, and the Dolphins get a win when they needed one because that Dolphins team was falling apart. Ravens crushed the Bears. Not expecting this. Bears completely healthy. Ravens without Lamar, Tyler Huntley was their starting quarterback. And the Bears just fell flat, and the Ravens came out hot, and they beat the Bears 30-16. But tonight, Lamar's playing. He's actually currently playing. The Ravens are up 28-6 to the Dolphins. Kind of how I expected to go. The Dolphins are awful, and Lamar is so incredible. He is so much fun to watch, and you don't realize how good he is until he's not playing, and you miss that style of football. Jets after the news that Mangold had passed away. The Jets and the Bengals play each other, and immediately in the second, the first half, the Bengals outscored the New York Jets 24-13. Then in the third quarter, the Jets only score 3, Bengals score 7. So that means it's 16-31. Then the Jets come out hot in the fourth quarter. They scored 23 points in the fourth quarter to beat the Cincinnati Bengals 39-8, and the Jets get their first win of the year after the news that Mangold had passed away. God bless his soul. It seemed like he was an incredible guy, and condolences go out to friends and family. I know that he had a lot of friends, and condolences to his family. But Breece Hall, 133 yards, 2 TDs. That's what you want to see out of Breece Hall. He's one of the better running backs in the league, and the Jets have not been utilizing him the way that he should be utilized. Breece Hall is so good, and if any of you guys play fantasy football, you know how good Breece Hall is. 18 carries, 133, 2 tuds. And then before this, we were questioning if he was even the starter with how the Jets were utilizing him as a running back. I'm glad that the Jets got a win after the Mangold news had came out, because it's just one of those football god moments where you go, this should happen because of this, and it did. Bills come out and smoke the Panthers. Finally, the Bills are back. Josh Allen and that Bills team, after 2 straight losses, get a win, 40-9 against the Panthers. Panthers did not look good, and Rico Dowdle did not have a 200+ yard game again. Texans 49ers, I think a lot of people expected the 49ers to win because Mac Jones and this 49ers team have been hot, and they still have plenty, plenty of talent on that team. And we've been questioning the Houston Texans because they started off 0-3. 0-3. A CJ Stroud team that a couple years ago as a rookie took them and competed in the playoffs. Last year missed the playoffs, and then this year come out 0-3, and you start to question this team and what they're doing, and if CJ Stroud is even the answer, and if this team is even as good as we expected them to be. Then they come out and have a game like this where they shut down the 49ers. CJ Stroud looks good, 318, 2 tuds, had 1 interception, and finally, the Texans get a win against a reputable team. Now, granted, they're still 3-4. The Niners are still 5-3. But this is a big win for the Houston Texans team. And I think this will give him a confidence boost. He is a stud. But yeah, no, I mean, Drake May is an absolute stud. Sorry, guys. I'm looking up some stats real quick. Just want to see it. But Drake May had 282 yards passing, 3 tuds. Travion Henderson looked good. Mac Hollins, a guy that we made fun of because he's just absolutely ripped. He looks like just like there's pads underneath his skin. And he's one of those guys that just is always in the weight room, and he's a wide receiver. But Drake May has made this Patriots team maybe like way better than I think any of us expected. But I think now the Patriots are looking at that trade deadline and thinking about if they should make a big move here because there's a chance they can make the playoffs. I mean, it's a high chance they make the playoffs at 6-2, and maybe they could even compete in the AFC for the best team in the AFC. Maybe even compete to go to the AFC Championship. So I'm assuming with all of the cap space that they have, they're looking at possible trades that they can make to make this team even better than they are now. And speaking of which, we don't need to talk about Shadir or how bad Dylan Gabriel looked in this game, but Myles Garrett is clearly unhappy. He was unhappy. Remember, we seen that note, that letter that he wrote saying that he wants to leave the team because he wants to be able to compete. And then all of a sudden the next day he signed for like $40 million a year to go back to the Browns. But he seems visibly upset with how the Browns team is and how they are, knowing that they should be better and that he's wasting the prime of his career. And is it possible that this Patriots team is a target and a destination for him to get traded to? Who knows? I don't think the Browns would trade him because they would have a lot of dead cap if they do. But if they wanted to just to get, rinse some money and some contracts, the Patriots are a team that have enough cap space to be able to do it. The only thing we need to talk about in this Eagles-Giants game is that Scadaboo had the most gruesome injury. I mean, awful. Like, it was one of those injuries where the commentators are just going, ooh, 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 ooh. I mean, his ankle was like sideways, just hanging there. It looked like a weight on a string. Like it had no movement, and he knew it was bad. And I guess it was like tibia, ankle dislocation, plus like torn ligaments. Like it was a terrible injury. They're saying 6 months. And if I hope that's true because that's not a lot of time, he'll be back for next season. I just want him to be better, and I want him to have a healthy and successful recovery. And also, Dom, the security guy of the Eagles, took him like Philly cheesesteaks and some pizza to his hospital room, which is so cool. So cool. We love Dom if you're a Philly fan. Bucks come out and just absolutely destroy the Saints 23-3. Baker's still looking good. Colts Titans, we don't really need to talk about this game other than the Colts team is a wagon. They look unbeatable right now. I know they're 7-1 lost to the Rams, but they just look like the best team in the NFL. Not just the AFC, but in the NFL. And Jonathan Taylor is having a year to remember, and this Colts team looks like they could compete for a Super Bowl at this moment. I always had faith in Steichen, and now seeing proof that he can do it successfully as a head coach is awesome. Cowboys Broncos. I thought this game was going to be a lot closer. I thought the Cowboys were going to maybe have a chance to win, keep it close. But the Broncos came out and just scored a lot, scored all over the Cowboys. The Cowboys couldn't stop a damn thing. And the Broncos defense played really good to practically shut out this Cowboys team from even having a chance at winning. Broncos win 44-24. Packers Steelers game, I had a parlay where it would have hit if the Steelers would have either won or lost by within 3. And for most of this game, I thought that bet was going to hit. Didn't cash out. Ended up going to the grocery store, and where I'm at in the grocery store doesn't have any internet for whatever reason. And so the entire time I'm in the grocery store, I have no internet to be able to check. And within like 15 minutes, it went from like Packers or Steelers are up 10 to all of a sudden the Packers are up 10 and the game is practically over. And I lost that bet. The Steelers looked awful. They looked like they could do nothing on offense later in that game. The Steelers defense is not the Steelers defense that we remember in the past. And I don't know what else to say, guys, but this Steelers team, I think, definitely has more issues than we suspected. They look like the same Steelers team we've been watching for the last like half a decade since Big Ben retired. I don't think they're good enough at the moment to compete. Maybe if they get healthier and coach a little bit better, but as of right now, I don't think the Steelers team has a chance of doing any damage in the playoffs if they were to make the playoffs. It looks like another Tomlin 500, barely plus 500 Steelers team. And the Packers look really good. Jordan Love had a couple, ups and downs this year, but I think the Packers are definitely one of the better teams in the NFC. Chiefs destroy the Commanders. Absolutely destroy the Commanders. The Chiefs are back. Travis Kelce. Oh, there's a lot of tight end. Throughout this week 8, it was tight end day. And Tucker Kraft in that Packers game had like 2 touchdowns, 160 yards, but it seemed like every tight end was doing something because they're like a bunch of great stats for tight ends this week just because of National Tight End Day. And I meant to say that because Travis Kelce also had a really good performance in this Chiefs game. And Pat Mahomes, I don't think Pat Mahomes knows that he's one of the Mount Rushmore quarterbacks of the NFL of all time because he plays like he's a third string guy trying to get on the field. He will take hits he shouldn't take. He will run guys over. He will not slide when he should slide. But that's what makes Pat Mahomes so incredibly good. I just hope it doesn't get him injured because an NFL with Pat Mahomes playing the way he's playing is an NFL I want to watch, and I think most of us want to watch. Let's talk about week 9. Ravens, Dolphins. It's final already. The game ended 28-6. Ravens beat the Dolphins. Lamar's back. Dolphins suck. Really good game for the Ravens. I think we all would have expected this Ravens team to win. 49ers, Giants. No Scatterboo. No Malik Neighbors. I expect this 49ers team to win and comfortably, and it sucks. Jackson Dart's cool, and it just sucks that Scatterboo got hurt because he was a little, firecracker for that New York Giants offense. Chargers, Titans. Do we need to talk about it? Chargers are clearly going to win this game. The Titans are a mess right now, and they might be a mess for years to come because it feels like it's going to be a carousel of just coaches getting hired. Vikings, Lions. I think JJ is going to play this game, and I still don't expect the Vikings to win. I think the Lions are way too good right now. They're a wagon. They're one of the best teams in the NFL and the NFC. The Vikings just have not looked very good, and I think JJ needs a little bit more time to be the quarterback that he was drafted to be. Falcons, Patriots, Drake May, super incredibly good. I'm not sure if Michael Penix is going to be back for the Falcons. I think we'll learn that this week, but I think Bijan can have some success against this Patriots defense, but I still think the Patriots are the better team. I think the Patriots squeak out a win here. Colts, Steelers. Steelers are coming off a terrible loss. Colts are coming off like, what is it, 5, 6 straight wins or, 5 straight wins. I think this Colts team is way too hot, way too good right now. You got Danny Dimes, Jonathan Taylor. I think the Steelers have some problems that they need to fix, and I don't think they're going to be able to fix them in this short period of time. I expect this Colts team to win and comfortably. Broncos, Texans. I still don't have faith that after that Texans win that they're going to start stringing along some wins. I still have faith that CJ Stroud is a good quarterback, but I think this Broncos team is just kind of put together. They kind of have players everywhere. They may not be the best at everything, but they have good players everywhere. And I think this Broncos team will win this game. Bears, Bengals. Bengals are coming off a terrible loss, and so are the Bears. I still think the Bears are the better team, but with Joe Flacco behind the helm, maybe he can rip it and spin it and put a lot of pressure on this Bears offense to score some points. And if they do that, I can see the Bengals winning. But if this is a defensive game, the Bears are clearly going to win that game. Panthers, Packers. I think the Packers are going to win this game. And I think whatever the spread is, that's what it's going to be. Jordan Love's too good. The Panthers have had some really good games and some really bad games this year, so I don't think they're one of the better teams in the NFL, but I do think the Packers are. So I think the Packers will win this game. Saints, Rams, do we need to talk about it? The Rams are going to win that game. Whatever spread it is, I would take it. Jaguars, Raiders. Jags are plus 500. Raiders are falling apart. And I think Brock Bowers might be back this week, but the Raiders are not good. They are a terrible team. They will be competing for drafting number one in the draft this year. Jaguars, although not the, although I still have my qualms with the Jaguars, I still think they're the better team in this instance and will win. I think the game of the week. Chiefs, Bills. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen. I don't know. I think the Chiefs have a decent, okay run defense. I think this is going to be a high scoring, one of those epic, epic games that we love to watch in the NFL. For whatever reason, I just have that feeling. I don't think it's going to be a defensive game. I think both QBs are going to be ripping it and spinning it. And I do think with how hot the Chiefs have been, I think they're going to beat the Bills this week. But I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it's going to be high scoring. Seahawks, Commanders. Not sure what the injury list looks like, but I do think the Commanders, with Jaden Daniels going down with his injury, even though he's back, I don't think they've been the Commanders that we've expected them to be. And I think the Seahawks are a much better team than we all expected them to be. I think the Seahawks are going to win this Sunday night football game, but I can see it being close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way if either team wins. Cardinals, Cowboys. I'm not sure who the QB is going to be for the Cardinals, but I think the Cowboys are really close in talent this year to the Cardinals, but I still think with Dak Prescott, they are the better team. I think it's not going to be a great game, but I do think the Cowboys will win this game. All right, guys, that's kind of all of it. Maybe next week I'll have a guest on. I'm, slowly talking to my dad into joining the podcast full time. We will talk more about how the games went, storylines, all that. I appreciate all of you guys watching the episode. I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. I hope all your teams win. And I'm scared that the Dodgers are going to lose this World Series, but we'll see next week. Thank you guys again so much. Have a good weekend. Peace.